Welcome to WarThunder. I am Commander Tyrael, and today I'm working on the Battle Pass task Elephant Seal. This task requires players to sink 15 vessels with a bluewater ship. I've already partially completed this challenge while completing the previous task Winner's Selection. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to check it out. Today I'll be using a lineup of Japanese destroyers, the tech tree Akizuki, the squadron vehicle Shimakaze, and the rare premium vehicle Udachi. If you don't have any of these vehicles, don't worry too much, as most of the tactics that I use will translate well to other nations' destroyers, perhaps only limited by those nations' torpedo range. The first game I didn't have many opportunities for a torpedo strike besides popping out from behind an island and taking out this blind Aoba. The second game was a brutal up tier. I managed to get off a spread, but then everybody saw me. Doing my best to blend into the smoke. Being the only person to attack on this side though doesn't help. But I managed to get one hit on a Russian cruiser. I don't have much hope of surviving, and a fire in a Japanese ship is pretty dangerous. Even with an ace crew, she detonates. My second life, I was a little bit more cautious and took my time creeping up to the island. I've already launched all of my torpedoes, and it was just a matter of waiting patiently for them to strike. Unfortunately, this guy didn't get hit. You'll have much more success if you patiently observe your target and see what they're doing. I noticed that this guy was just going back and forward very, very gently. So I just aimed for him, and it was just a matter of waiting. In the majority of cases, if you are approached by a torpedo spread, you should always turn into it. There's a little bit of physics involved in the explanation as to why that is more beneficial, but we'll save that for another video. An effective tactic that I've found is to present yourself as easy bait to your torpedo target. A lot of the time the captain will be wondering why there's an easy kill there and not paying attention to their surroundings. And there is our retribution. And a short moment later we have solid hit on the Portland. Long lances do a lot of damage, but they don't seem to do as much as they used to. As a little side tip, use the radio to spot your target and then call in artillery ahead of their position. After 26 seconds, the first rounds of a 12-inch artillery barrage will arrive. These shells are very large and will do significant damage to any ship that they hit, especially cruisers, which offer a very big target. With some practice, you'll be able to get some hits on a cruiser that's moving. There we've had a solid hit to his engine room through the deck. That's affected his speed dramatically and made him easy bait for our torpedo attack. For some reason he turned his gunners off. He probably thought I was an AI boat, and that was to his detriment. And a short moment later we get our Portland kill. The Shimakaze is super fast, so one unconventional tactic is to just speed straight at the enemy while they're still trying to hide behind their initial islands. Don't bother capping, just run straight at them. Chances are they won't be able to shoot every single one of your torpedo launchers, and in this case, they didn't get the rear one. So we launch a torpedo for everybody. This typical Moffat player pushed his way through, selflessly sacrificing himself for his teammate. Solid hits all around. Japanese destroyers have an average rate of fire, but they make up for this with high velocity shells and excellent accuracy. This makes them very effective at disabling deck modules and turrets. As my objective is to score torpedo kills, I use the main guns to disable my target's weaponry so they can't retaliate, and their bridge to remove their ability to evade. Using this technique allows me to engage multiple hostiles at once and minimize damage to my own ship. So I take shots at every target in view, launch a couple of torpedoes at them, and move to my next target. Not only does this increase the amount of targets that I'm actually engaging, but it also increases the chance that I'll hit something Now these Moffats are hardly the most difficult of opponents, but for the sake of this task, they just need to be players. So after making my dash across that channel and killing most of his friends, I came across the boss Moffat. This guy just wouldn't die. I think I hit him with about 5 torpedoes. And because I was so desperate to get a torpedo kill, I just didn't finish him, and oh, I guess you'll see what happens. It was one of those rare times I got really focused on an enemy and I paid for it. With only 2 kills left to finish the challenge, I got a little bit desperate and went on a Shimakaze Rampage. Now in this streak I managed to hit 5 torpedoes but only 1 kill. And I think that Gaijin removing hull break as a mechanic from Naval has really affected the ability for torpedoes to kill. But it is good to know that they still kill things when they hit the shore. There's a Moffat sitting just around the corner and it hits the island and splashes him hard. For my final kill, I repeated the tactic that I used against the Portland. This British cruiser had just been going backwards and forwards, camping our spawn point, so I sent some long lances early and then presented myself. Just made myself a general nuisance, aiming for the bridges and secondary turrets. He's thinking, why is this so easy? It's fairly easy to dodge too when you're nose in. So I lasted longer than I should have. Long enough for my torpedoes to cross the distance. And with that, we have our challenge complete. Smiley face for the win. Hope you found this video useful. It was a lot of fun, just a quick one today. Until next time, Commander Tyrael out.